Hello, Matt Wronski here from Alternative Light Photographic Workshops. I wanted to make a video today and talk about test strips and show you how it is that I make my test strips. What is a test strip? A test strip, I feel, is a very important part of the workflow that I highly suggest that you fit into how it is that you make your alternative prints. A test strip is a piece of exposed paper that we have coated, which is exposed with different increments of light in a very logical manner, hitting different parts of the paper. And what that allows us to do is after we develop our print, it allows us with great accuracy to see exactly how much time we need in order to make the print that we want to make. What I use is I use a printing frame, and I also use a UV light box. You wouldn't necessarily have to use a printing frame, although it makes life a lot easier, and you certainly don't have to use a UV lighting box. You can do what was done long before UV lighting boxes were a thing, and that is use the sun. So the printing frame that I use this is one of them that I have. And the cool thing about printing frames is they have this split back here, and pressure that is put onto the glass. So what happens is you open this thing up all the way. This is a split back. You would open it up like that. You would put your negative down, and then on top of that, or behind it, you would go ahead and put your coated paper. The back goes on, these little spring things push up against the glass, and sandwiched in between that is your negative and your coated paper. So by having that pressure against it, what that does is it makes the amount of room between the negative and the print itself as close as it can possibly be, and what that results in is the sharpest image that you can possibly have. So the test strip. What I like to do, very often the negatives that I work with are not necessarily the entire size of the paper that I am using. This is a classic example of exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So my original paper was that big. So I coated my paper knowing that my negative was a little bit smaller than the paper itself. And after the paper was dried with my guillotine cutter, I got rid of this top part of the paper, of the coated paper. And this, when it was coated, or it still is kind of coated, I suppose, was one of three, because I had to make 3 prints. And all it is the top of the paper. So I'm not wasting any paper at all. And you know, the pages, each one of these pieces of paper is about $1 a piece. So my investment, if you will, into this particular project, which was to make 3 of these for the record company that J.P. Harris's new record is coming out in October. My investment, besides the chemistry, was 3 pieces of paper. So I've got, at this stage of the game, I'm going to make a test strip. And the way that we're going to do that, or the way that I did it, I should say, is I take the coated piece of paper, and just like I showed you, I remove the back of this thing, and I have my negative in front of the piece of paper. So this piece of paper is actually underneath the negative. And what I then do is I expose this piece of paper, and I do so in 2-minute increments. So with the paper underneath and with my little slats in place here, this portion of the negative is going to be the only portion of the negative that is going to be exposed onto my piece of paper, which is behind all this. So as I mentioned, 2-minute increments. So I make my first exposure. I put this whole thing into the light box and I set my timer for 2 minutes. So after my first exposure, what I have is a piece of paper underneath that has had 2 minutes reach that part of the paper. Okay? So then what I do is I pull off one of these little slats, and then what I have underneath this negative is this piece of paper where the bottommost part of the paper has had an exposure of 2 minutes, and thus far this hasn't had any. I put the printing frame back into the printer and I make another 2-minute exposure. So what I have at this point is 4 minutes has reached the bottommost part of the piece of paper, and 2 minutes have reached the area directly above that. Okay, so then I pull this out after 2 minutes and I remove the next slat off of it. So what I have is 4 minutes on the bottommost part, 2 minutes on the section above that, and thus far, no time on the section directly above that. I put it back in for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, now I've got 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and 6 minutes. So I continue doing this all the way up to the point where the topmost part of my paper will have a 2-minute exposure, and then directly below that it will be a 4-minute exposure, directly below that a 6-minute exposure, directly below that 8, 10, 12. So what I end up with is my test strip that has had a 12-minute exposure at its bottom and a 2-minute exposure up at the top. So I did that and quickly came to the realization that I did not have 12 minutes was not going to cut it. So I had another test strip from when I coated the paper, and I put my unexposed paper underneath the negative, and I did the exact same thing all over again. So what I ended up with is I started, did the exact same two-minute increments, but at the top here, because I knew 12 minutes was not going to be enough, this very top part got 14 minutes of exposure, and then once again 2-minute increments. So I had 14 minutes, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and then 26 minutes is what I had on this particular piece of paper. From that, I decided, upon looking at it and evaluating it, that 21 minutes is where I wanted to be, that was going to be optimum. So with my third little strip here that came off the top of the 3 pieces of paper, I just did a straight up exposure, open this up and I put the piece of paper underneath it, and I made an exposure of 21 minutes. So this way I knew for certain, prior to putting my full sheets of paper into the box, I knew what 21 minutes was going to look like. So at that point, after I exposed this and I washed it, then I was able to make 3 more exposures at 20 minutes each, and I ended up with 3 as identical as you can get cyanotypes from this one negative. So I really suggest that you do this. Taking the guesswork out of making cyanotypes is going to get you to where you want to be as far as the quality of your prints a lot faster, really, than anything else is going to be able to do it for you when it comes to exposure and figuring out your exposure. Otherwise, you're just guessing. So this could have very well have turned into an all-day affair had I not used test strips, and as it turned out, I was able to kind of make these in a relatively short order. So I can't recommend them enough. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it's going to help you in your workflow. If you have any questions or comments, certainly leave them below and I'll do my absolute best to get you the answers that you need. If you like the video, please give me a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, I hope that you give me a follow, and then that way you'll be let known when it is that I make another one. So until then, I thank you very much, and happy printing. Bye-bye.